Greetings from Florida, everyone. What an amazing privilege it is to be alive right now. We are in such an unprecedented time where the energy of and the consciousness of humanity is completely rising. Anything that is not of love is being brought up to the surface to just be healed. And I find that I am so energized just by being alive in this time period. And I'm constantly asking myself, how do I grab on to more creativity? And how do I challenge myself to really tap into that creative spirit of source, of God, of the divine? Because God is so creative, and there's so much stuff that's just being recycled these days, and all these memes, and you're finding you don't even know who said what anymore. But you know what? We all have something very unique, and we all have that creative ability. Just as God's spirit hovered over the chaos and the darkness and was close to that which was completely unknown and scary and chaotic, right? Because when you're in a place of darkness, you are sitting with the unknown. And so to be creative is actually an act of courage. First of all, just to sit there in that space and to not be so rushed to hatch something that is not yet ready, right? And so to be creative takes courage, and it takes patience, but it also takes commitment, okay? It takes commitment to not, it takes commitment to yourself, personal integrity, to not just recycle someone else's creativity, but to really find what is of your own. Because we each have something special and unique to contribute to the earth, to the world, to those around us, even if it's just for ourselves, to know that it's possible. And so I just want to encourage all of you who are drawn to this message and feel that inside their hearts. There are several things that you can do to help you become more present in the moment, which will help with your creativity. Because when we are in our thinking mind, we are in either the past or we're in the future, okay? And so we're never in the present when we're in our thinking mind. If you really, really want to get into it, anything that you're thinking about actually isn't real, because it either hasn't happened yet or it's in the future. And so the only thing that's actually real is this very moment. And it's this place that you're in this space. And sometimes it's hard because especially when you have children and when you have a busy job and there's all of these different things that you're doing, it's really, really hard, I think, sometimes to really just take a moment to become more present. And I just want to share what I do sometimes to really create that gap, that space in my mind between my thoughts and what's real. And what I do, here comes the secret, is I will do some very mundane things. And I will slow down and I will take notice of how I feel physically in those moments. So for an example, taking a simple shower. A lot of times we do those things on autopilot, right? You probably have your shower routine. Everyone does it a certain way. You may do your hair first, and then you may wash your face and your body, or you may do it the opposite way. But everyone kind of has a routine. I really like to sometimes switch things up. I will say, let me feel what that water feels like dripping down my body, down my face. What does it feel like just sitting and running down my head? And then maybe I will do something out of my routine, just to kind of get my mind out of autopilot. And that will really bring me into the now. How does that feel? What is the scent? What is the consistency of your soap? All of these things really contribute to being more aware and present in the moment. And I'll do other simple things like notice right now how the sand feels beneath my feet, how the wind is blowing my hair, and how the sound of the ocean brings you right into this very moment. And I think the more that we can do some of these really mundane things, that normally could get us caught up in our thoughts, which will take us out of our heart space and out of the moment. But if you could start to just bring yourself more into feeling the very present things, even gazing out and noticing how beautiful the color of the trees are and how beautiful the color of the sky is. Notice why sunsets are so healing, not only because it brings the promise of a new day, but because it also shows you the very beautiful moment that's very passing, right? That's not going to last, and we know that. And there won't be another sunset exactly like that again. And so there are moments every single day of our life that we can miss, that will never happen again if we don't just take the time to be. So if you are so busy, and I know I can get like this, that you don't have the time to sit with yourself outside of your thoughts and just feel and just be, I want to just challenge you today to do that, because it's going to be impossible for you to be creative when you're consuming and you're taking in all this information, but you don't have the ability to be quiet, to rest, and to just be. You can't tap into the creative spirit, which is in that place of darkness sometimes, and in that chaotic place where there is nothing, that place of void. The only way that we can be truly creative is to be quiet, courageous, and committed. Peace, y'all. Mwah.